In a forgotten kingdom buried deep within the oldest forests of Africa, there was a drum that could control the earth itself. One beat could split mountains, another could stir rainfall, and the third could end everything. But one day, the drum went silent, vanished, not stolen, not broken. It simply disappeared on the exact night the Earth King died. And centuries later, a young boy wandering through a forbidden cave heard it beating again. This is the terrifying and unbelievable tale of the last drum of the Earth King. But before we start, if you're new here, welcome to African Folktale Hub, where we tell strange, mysterious, and mind-bending stories from across Africa. Tap subscribe button to join our tribe of mystery lovers. Hit like to help this story echo across the world. Today's story is one of the oldest. Let's begin. Long ago, the Earth King, Obana, ruled with a gift no ruler before or after possessed. A sacred drum carved from the heart of an ancient tree, said to be older than the world itself. The drum had 3 beats, each tied to a different spirit. The pulse of life brought harvests, rainfall, healing. The pulse of power summoned protection, controlled stone, shifted land. The pulse of endings, no one knew its full extent, because the Earth King swore never to strike it. The people prospered. Rivers never dried. Crops grew tall. The kingdom thrived. But there was one person who hated this balance. His younger brother, Makwano. A man whose hunger for the throne was deeper than any drought. And one night, Makwano sneaked into the Earth King's chamber and struck the second beat of the drum. The ground shattered, the palace cracked, and the Earth King, betrayed, banished Makwano forever. But Makwano didn't leave alone. He whispered a final threat. When I return, it will be with the pulse of endings. 1 month later, the Earth King suddenly died. And the drum, the most powerful object in the world, vanished with him. Centuries passed. The kingdom became legend. The Earth King faded into myth. The drum, a bedtime story. Until Kessie, a 14-year-old orphan boy from the village of Kuroba, went into the forest searching for firewood. While gathering sticks, he heard something strange. Boom. A single, low drum beat. The ground vibrated under his feet. He froze. Then it sounded again. Boom. Only this time, the trees around him bent inward, as if bowing. Kessie tried to run, but the forest path twisted unnaturally, leading him toward a cave no villager had seen in generations. At the entrance, he heard a whisper. The drum calls only those who carry the Earth King's blood. Kessie stepped inside. Inside the cave lay a stone chamber, glowing with green light. At its center, on a pedestal of roots, sat the last drum of the Earth King. Kessie reached out. His hand hovered over the ancient surface. Then, don't touch it. A tall figure stepped from the darkness. White hair, black robes, eyes like burning coals. Makwana. But he should have been dead centuries ago. He smiled. Child, thank you for answering the drum's call. It needed a descendant of the Earth King to wake. Kessie shook his head. I'm not a descendant of anyone. But Makwano simply laughed. Oh, you are, or the drum would not have opened for you. He explained the truth. The Earth King had a secret son before his death. That son escaped the palace collapse and blended into the villages. His bloodline continued, quiet, unnoticed, until Kessie. Kessie's heart raced. He wasn't just a boy. He was the last living heir. And Makwano needed him. Strike the third beat, boy. Do it, and the throne becomes yours. Strike it, and the world will kneel. Kessie stepped back. No, that beat destroys things. Makwano smiled wider. Exactly. The drum began pulsing on its own. Booms, boom, boom. The chamber shook. Roots crawled up the walls. Dust fell from the ceiling. Kessie felt the air tremble like a storm trapped underground. He touched the drum lightly. And instantly, flash, he saw visions. The Earth King holding the drum. Mekwano attacking him. The first collapse of the palace. And most shocking, the Earth King hiding the drum in this cave and whispering, "Only one with a pure heart may strike the third beat. And not end the world, but mend it." Kessie staggered back. The third beat wasn't for destruction. It was for restoration. But Mekwano never knew that. Kessie opened his eyes, gasping. And Mekwano was standing directly in front of him. "Tell me what you saw," he demanded. Kessie shook his head. "No." Mekwano raised his hand, preparing a spell taught by forbidden spirits. "Then you leave me no choice." Just as Mekwano released the attack, the drum moved. On its own. It rolled off the pedestal and stopped at Kessie's feet. A deep voice whispered, "Strike the third beat." Mekwano lunged. Kessie lifted both hands, terrified, and boom. The third beat echoed. Everything froze. Dust hung in the air. The entire cave suspended mid-motion. Then, the earth itself began to glow. The roots on the walls unraveled. The rocks repaired themselves. Mekwano's dark magic evaporated. Time resumed. Mekwano screamed as the ground beneath him split open. Not to kill him, but to swallow his power. His robes faded. His strength vanished. He collapsed, powerless, aging rapidly into the frail old man he should have been centuries ago. The drum had undone his stolen immortality. Kessie approached him. Mekwano whispered, "I only wanted the throne." But Kessie replied, "The throne was never meant for one who seeks power, only one who seeks healing." Mekwano closed his eyes. The cave wall opened, revealing sunlight. Kessie stepped outside holding the drum. The forest bent toward him like before. Not in fear, but in respect. As he walked back to the village, riverbeds filled with water. The dried farmland sprouted green. Animals returned from hiding. The elders trembled when they saw the drum. One whispered, "The Earth King has returned." But Kessie lifted his hand. "No, the Earth King is gone. I am only its guardian." Under his watch, the land prospered again. Not with power, but with peace. And once every year, he struck the pulse of life. And the entire kingdom glowed. The drum was no longer a weapon. It was a promise. And that is the forgotten legend of the last drum of the Earth King. A story of betrayal, mystery, power, and unexpected redemption. Thank you for listening to African Folktale Hub, where ancient stories breathe again. If this tale touched you, remember, wisdom lives in every story, and every story lives in you. See you in the next tale.